Hi there. It's June the 19th and we're continuing our journey through the first book of Kings, coming towards the end of the book now with chapters 20 and 21. At the beginning of chapter 20 we find Ahab, the king of Israel, challenged by Benhadad of Syria. Benhadad comes and tells him that he's going to possess his goods, he's going to possess his people, and Ahab at first concedes this, but then when Ben-Hadad says he's actually coming to take things, the people of Israel say, no, we're not going to stand for that. And then a prophet is sent and is told by God to say to Ahab that if Ahab goes out against the Syrian king, his troops will be successful. And so twice actually they go out and they face up to King Ben-Hadad of Syria, and he is repulsed, he's driven back, so much so that he comes in verse 31 of chapter 20 and decides that he's going to sue for a covenant, for a treaty with Ahab, because he's given to understand that the kings of Israel are kings of Hesed. Now this word is very important, as we've seen in the scriptures so far, but here it's used in terms of the fact that they believe that if they make a covenant with the kings of Israel, the king will not break his covenant and therefore they will be safe. And so Ahab, when Ben-Hadad comes, for some reason Ahab receives him and says that he will make a covenant with him, and therefore Ben-Hadad goes away. He's had this opportunity to settle accounts with Ben-Hadad, that he lets him go in covenant. This provokes the prophet to come back again and to come back and tell Ahab a parable that he's had someone in his care who should have been held prisoner and he's let him escape. And he says that because you've let Ben-Hadad go, who actually was forfeit to God and should have been destroyed, then it will go badly for you. God is displeased with you. And Ahab is upset by this and sulks off back to his palace. Talking about a sulking Ahab, we go into the next chapter, chapter 21, and Naboth has a vineyard close to Ahab's palace, and Ahab wants this vineyard badly, and he proposes either to pay money or to exchange it for another piece of land. But Naboth says, I cannot give up my father's inheritance. This is from my father. And so Ahab goes into a massive sulk. He lies on his bed, he complains, he moans, and his wife Jezebel, or Jezebel as we know her, hears him and asks what the problem is. And then Ahab says, Naboth won't give me his vineyard. She says, leave it to me, you will have his vineyard. She then in an evil way arranges for Naboth to be accused by false witnesses of blasphemy against God and the king. He's stoned to death, and then Jezebel has his land taken and given to Ahab, and therefore Ahab gets what he wants by foul, corrupt means. This provokes Elijah to come and to uncover Jezebel and Ahab's behavior, and he says that Ahab's blood will be licked up by the dogs in the same place where Naboth's blood was licked up, and that Jezebel, there'll be nothing left of her, she will be devoured by the dogs. And this shows the displeasure that God has in corrupt government. You know, it's very important, going back to the story of Ben-Hadad and the king of Syria, and how making a covenant with this evil king, Ahab actually steps out of the plan of God. It's really important that we do not compromise with the powers of evil. Sometimes it seems as though we're doing the right thing in making compromises, but actually God wants us wholly His, wholly pure. And so we need to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're putting God first and listening to His voice. Have a very good June the 19th.